Look man, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You ever walk into a room and just feel like no one gives a damn you're there? Like you showed up to the game, but somehow everyone is sorry on the third quarter, and you still stretching. You're standing there, hands in your pockets, doing that slow head nod like, yeah, I'm cool. I belong here. But deep down you're wondering if your deodorant failed, or if your shirt's hugging your anxiety a little too tight. But here's the kicker, and this is the part that'll mess you up once you realize it. You were seen the second you walked in.
Oh yeah.
She saw you, not the chick posting thirst traps for serotonin, not the one scanning the room like a predator at brunch. I'm talking about her, the one who doesn't say much, the one sipping her drink like she's bored with the whole human race. That, when she clocked you before you even hit the corner, she saw your jawline, your shoulders, the way you didn't need to announce yourself. You were still adjusting your hoodie and she was already like, shit. Please don't realize you're hot. That's the secret, right there. It's not that you're invisible. You're too visible. In the wrong way. It's like walking into a boxing match with your gloves down because nobody told you you're in the ring. You think you're just there to grab a drink, maybe catch a vibe, maybe say something clever if the opportunity presents itself. Meanwhile, you're being evaluated like a goddamn used car. Low mileage, solid frame, clearly hasn't been driven too hard. But does he know what he's worth? She's not looking for the loud dude with a fresh fade and a TikTok laugh. That guy's wallpaper. She wants the one who doesn't know he's the threat. The guy who doesn't peacock. The guy who accidentally makes her cross her legs. But here's where the mind games start. Because once she sees you don't know, that you're still out here being polite, letting everyone go first, overthinking your texts like you're submitting a thesis, that's when the switch flips. That's when the game begins. And you're still in your goddamn head. You're thinking about that time you tripped over your words last week. You're debating if the shoes you wore were too flashy, or not flashy enough, or maybe they looked like they belonged to a divorced substitute teacher with a vitamin D deficiency. Meanwhile, she's already logged into the emotional stock exchange of your soul, looking at your vulnerability like it's a bargain sale on control. And here's where I get pissed, because nobody told you this. Nobody tells guys this. They all say, just be yourself, be kind, be attentive. And that's good advice for a dog. You're not dating to roll over and play dead. You're dating to connect, and connection without respect. Buddy, that's a slow motion mugging with compliments. So now you're wondering, wait, if she knows I'm attractive, why isn't she saying anything? Because it's not her job to tell you. That's not how this works. This ain't kindergarten where you get a damn sticker for showing up and not picking your nose. Attraction isn't a handshake, it's a test. You walk into that space, and whether it's the gym, the club, the damn grocery store, you're being sized up in silence. And if you don't know the game, you failed the test before you even realize you're being tested. Let me explain something, and I'm gonna say this the way it hits. Women are trained to spot the rhythm of confidence before you even speak. Yeah, the way you move, the pauses between your words, your breathing, your eye contact, the space you occupy without saying anything. See, every man's got a bounce. Not the literal kind, although if you've ever skipped a rope, you know exactly what I mean. I'm talking about that internal spring, that tension, that balance, that ability to stay in your flow without second-guessing every damn step. You stay up because you trust your timing. But most guys, they're taught to suppress the bounce. Stay polite, keep your hands folded, don't make waves, don't get too loud, don't stand too close. And guess what? You lose your rhythm, you lose your edge. You lose that primal signal that says, I'm in control of me, even if the rest of this room is chaos. You think she doesn't see that? She sees it, and it frustrates the hell out of her, because she's not looking for a guy who thinks he's hot. She's looking for a guy who is, and doesn't flinch when the room tries to convince him otherwise. And here's where the mind bend kicks in. She's gonna test you. Not with words, not with logic. Nah, she's gonna tilt the court. She'll glance at you, then pretend you don't exist. She'll stand close enough to feel your breath, then scroll her phone like you're just another piece of furniture. She's watching how long you can hold your balance, like a boxer feinting a jab to see if you twitch, like a coach throwing extra weight on your back to see if your knees buckle, like a rope snap mid-air just to check if your rhythm was real or robotic. And if you stumble, if you drop your eyes too fast, if you act like you need her attention instead of standing in your own gravity, boom, test failed. You just told her you're not the guy. You just told her, please give me the answer. I don't trust myself to pass this quiz. But if you stay in your rhythm, if you look at her like, yeah, I saw you, but I got my own song playing in here. Suddenly she can't sit still. You messed with her nervous system. You made her aware of her own rhythm, and that's something most men don't even know how to do. Now here's the sick part. You think the game starts when you say something. Nah. The moment you approach, that's already late. It's like showing up to the court after warm-ups or overthinking your ego. Nah, drop 30, buddy. She already made her decision before you even cleared your throat. That's why some dudes, let's be honest, can say the dumbest shit, and it works. They walk up like, yo, you drink water, and next thing you know, she's twirling her hair like he's reading her poetry. Meanwhile, you said something respectful, asked her about her interests, and now you're getting ghosted like you're a haunted house in the suburbs. Why? Because the guy who said the dumb thing believed in the rhythm. He trusted his shot. You were still adjusting your laces. See, there's a myth floating around, and it's ruining this idea that women fall for what you say. Like it's all in the pickup lines, the banter, the cleverness. Bro, this ain't a F*** King TED Talk. You're not there to impress with your ability to articulate the finer points of oat milk. What she's reading, before, during, and after, is your energy. That invisible current, that tension in your jaw, the steadiness of your breath, the way you lean without begging. The rope don't lie. You either bouncing in rhythm, or you trying to force something that is not in your body. That's why silence messes people up. Ever been in a room where a guy just exists, doesn't speak, doesn't posture, just sits there, calm, like a loaded spring? Every woman in the room notices it, because that kind of stillness ain't weak, it's dangerous. It's a quiet confidence, and it wrecks the whole emotional ecosystem. Makes them wonder what you're not saying. Makes them wonder who taught you to be still like that. And if you try to fake it, they see right through it. You can't breathe shallow and act like you're deep. You can't slouch and pretend you're present. And you damn sure can't chase and expect to be chosen. You know what chasing is. Chasing is breaking your rhythm to catch someone who already saw you. That's the insanity. She saw you before you spoke, and if you'd stayed centered, she might have moved. But you didn't. You broke. You sprinted into your own insecurity, trying to fill a space that didn't need filling. You jumped too early, or you froze midair, and now your rope's wrapped around your ankle and your pride's on the floor. Look, man, no one's saying don't make a move, but moves come from rhythm, not panic. If the bounce ain't there, the move looks forced. You ever see a guy try to jump double Dutch too early? He hops in with all the confidence of a motivational speaker and bam, rope to the face. That's how most guys enter conversations. It's not timing. It's timidness disguised as initiative. Let me tell you the worst part. The truly messed up part. Most of us, we gaslight ourselves out of knowing we're attractive. Like, she'll do a thing, some little gesture, and you know there was something there. The way she lingered, the way she bit her lip, or laughed a little too long. But then you go home and you're like, nah, I'm tripping. I probably imagined that. I'm not that guy. Yo, you're not tripping. You're trained to doubt your power. Trained since you were a little boy to believe your looks don't matter unless you rich. Jacked, or 6'2" with a jaw that could cut granite. Trained to assume women are never subtle, never strategic. Trained to think you're lucky if any woman gives you attention at all, like it's some donation she's making out of pity. And the world, it encourages this delusion. Social media's full of women pretending they're just innocently vibing. That innocent vibe got 15 dudes in your DMs. That just being friendly. Smio had 5 men fighting over who gets to carry your damn groceries. Let's stop acting like these dynamics are random. Here's the truth. Women are masters of rhythm. They've been watching it, working it, bending it since they were teenagers. Every step, every laugh, every silence, it's all strategy. Subconscious or not. And you're out here thinking it's accidental, thinking you're imagining it. You think that bounce in her step didn't tighten up the second she saw you. You think that extra glance, that sudden curiosity in your workout, that wasn't intentional. Bro, she knew. She knew before you did, and she loved that you didn't know, because that meant she had leverage, power, control. If she can see your value before you do, she gets to shape how you see yourself. And that's the whole game, right? Power over perception. If she decides you're attractive but unsure, she can play you like a fiddle. She gets to pick when you feel seen. She becomes the gatekeeper to your self-esteem. So she gives you crumbs. Crumbs. A flirty joke here, a light touch there, a little dopamine hit every time you perform for her. And you eat it up like a damn dog. But the second you realize, wait a minute, I don't need her attention to feel solid, the whole thing flips. Now she's unsure. Now you're the mirror, and she's wondering how much of her charm still works. See, most women don't want a man who needs them. They want a man who knows his own rhythm and decides, yeah, I'll share some of this bounce with you. Nah, please validate my bounce. Nah, do you think I'm worthy? Hell no. Just, here's the rhythm I'm living in. Match it or miss it. That energy, that's kryptonite. You ever notice how you gotta downplay your wins? Like if you're a good-looking dude, you're supposed to act like you don't know it. Like it's somehow more humble to walk around pretending you've never noticed the stairs. Like, you think I'm cute? Wow, that's so surprising. Get out of here with that fake-ass modesty in you. Everyone feels when the room turns. But society trained you not to own it, right? Because if a woman owns her beauty, she's empowered. But if a man owns his, suddenly he's a narcissist. He's full of himself. Arrogant. He's giving off bad vibes. Yeah, bad vibes to people who need you small. That's who. You were taught to apologize for being noticed. Taught to shrink when you're praised. Taught to sidestep compliments like they're landmines. Because God forbid you lean into your own power. God forbid you say, yeah, I look good. I move well. I know what I bring. That kind of honesty makes people uncomfortable. Because now you're not easy to manage. And that's what it is. Modern culture isn't about equality. It's about psychological control. We don't want balance between men and women. We want men tamed. We want them self-doubting, hesitant, half-awake, easy to shame, easy to guilt, easy to sell shit to. You think it's a coincidence that everything masculine is being rebranded as toxic. You think it's random that men who walk in their rhythm are called intimidating, or problematic, or too aggressive. Bro, they want you off balance. Because rhythm is dangerous. Rhythm is sovereign, and if you're sovereign, you can't be manipulated. If you're in rhythm, you stop chasing. You stop apologizing. You stop needing external validation just to feel like a man. You become still, focused. A man who doesn't flinch, and that is a threat to a system built on men flinching. That's why I say, the rope, don't lie. You can fake confidence in your voice. You can learn scripts from dating coaches. You can memorize alpha body language from some YouTube jackass doing push-ups in his bathroom mirror, but the rope, that bounce, that timing, you either have it or you don't. You either found it or you're still searching for it in women's approval, in Instagram likes, in compliments you never learned to believe. And that's what Beneath the Bounce is about, man. This ain't about rope. This is about rhythm. This is about men waking up from that cultural coma, getting off the damn sidelines, remembering how to move, on beat, on purpose, not for likes, not for women, not for anyone watching, for you, because this is your rope, this is your rhythm, and if someone sees it and can't handle it, let them trip at you. You keep bouncing. You ever look in the mirror and realize you let yourself go emotionally? Not your body, not your beard, that internal tempo that used to hum when you walked into a room and just knew who you were. The rope was there, the pulse was clean. You didn't need to prove anything. And then what happened? You got tired? Tired of rejection? Tired of second-guessing yourself? Tired of getting your hopes up just for her to act like she never noticed what you were putting down? So what did you do? You shut it down. You muted your rhythm. You dialed down your bounce. And you convinced yourself you were being realistic. You started calling it being humble. You've told yourself, I'm just focused on my career right now. I'm just healing. I'm not trying to get played again. And you know, I get it. I've been there. We all got our reasons for falling off beat. But here's the hard truth. That rhythm doesn't come back on its own. You don't wake up one day and magically have swagger again. You don't heal by hiding. You don't regain rhythm sitting in the bleachers, watching dudes half as sharp as you win because they dared to move. You want your rhythm back? You want your bounce? You gotta fight for it. You gotta get under the rope again, even when your timing's off. Even when your feet feel like concrete. Even when your confidence is low and every part of you wants to walk away. Because it is easier to quit than look stupid trying. That's the price. Because rhythm isn't given. It's earned. It's trained, forged in the fire of every nigh. I'm good you ever swallowed. Every compliment you downplayed. Every moment you let someone else decide your value. And when you finally get it back, when that bounce returns and your body moves without thinking, people notice. She notices. And she acts like she always did. She flirts sideways. She tests your rhythm, try to throw it off. She'll trip in front of you on purpose, hoping you fumble, because the rhythm makes her feel things. And if you don't fall for the bait, if you don't skip a step trying to impress it, that's when she knows. That's when she sees you for what you really are. Not just attractive, unshakable, Because now she's not watching a boy looking for her approval. She's watching a man who already approved himself. So, here's your choice, right now. Keep playing small. Keep denying the rhythm. Keep hoping the world hands you a confidence wrapped in permission. Or grab the rope, bounce again, and let every step remind you that you were never out of rhythm. She just hoped you'd trip.